Hey everyone, RemanX here with another important event. Anti-venom is here, and it's your chance to score a 4. Yeah, not a 5 this time, guys. It's relatively impossible unless you save it with a course. A 4-star anti-venom, and we're going to walk you through this. The cool part about this is you can find this on the tab labeled the anti-venom event on the RemanX and Company tier list. If you guys haven't already taken a look at it, Rondius has updated this with the latest information, and we've double-checked the math for accuracy, and everything seems good. And when I say we, I mean he has. So let's take a quick dive in here to see how this is going to help you. This top row is basically the breakdown that's going to help you the most. The 120 milestones, basically the total expected shards. So the idea here is most of what you're going to do, you're going to be doing anyway over the normal course of the week, from raids to participating in blitzes to make sure you're getting those milestones. However, what he did for us was he broke down the additional milestones you had to, or the additional blitz rotations you had to do. So at 24 blitz wins in a rotation, you have to win, it's at 24 wins, you have to do 4.04, and realistically to get the other milestones, you're already doing 3. So really quickly, Anti-Venom is game-changing. He actually works in a lot of teams. So if you have the chance to participate in this, obviously if you're a new player, you probably don't have 24 teams built up enough to get this. And you just want to make sure, you know, if you're positioning yourself in alliance that can get through this, and you're using the masked team as much as possible to progress through this. So relatively important information. Those milestones are something that you're going to be able to get through your daily operations. And if you want to get a 5-star, to give you a quick reference, a certain player had to spend over 7,000 accumulated cores to get the required stars to finish it off over here. Remember, this is going to be 198.95, which is just about 18 and a half over, or 18.95, so 19 effectively over what a 4-star would be. So if you do a couple more blitz rotations, it's not going to help you much, because realistically you'd have to open 151.62 orbs. So a lot of those orbs are coming from the milestones in there. So unless they add some sort of flash event or another event, it's really not going to be something that's attainable. So sometimes they do the Fright Night orbs, or the orbs like this. You can buy them from cores. I would almost recommend, while Anti-Venom is up, that you buy those orb offers, because the ones for 675, because those have a higher drop rate and more expected shards than this. Even though you do get credit for the milestones will be largely complete just by doing these. So if you guys want to take a look at the math and help yourself to all of this, you guys can take a look at the tier list. It's always in the comments over here. And so now we're going to talk a little bit about what type of teams you can use them on. So realistically, he is probably the third symbiote in a lot of scenarios. What that means is he's probably replaced Venom potentially as someone to bring up. So probably poor Venom is even behind Scream, and it's a toss-up depending on what you need him to do. So I would be aware that just that res factor and the ability to heal other teammates is pretty powerful. So let's go into them really quickly. We're going to do a full review on Anti-Venom. If you guys don't know, I have absolutely maxed them out. By the way, you can see the milestones right here. Several shards, several orbs available through doing this. We're going to have to get the gold gear. I will probably do my best to get most of the gold gear so that I have the option. These Night Terrors is where you're going to find some gold gear, some mini unique pieces, which will still be important as we progress. The bio gear to hopefully bring these characters up. The only thing I think that was missing was, you got double the bio gear. So Anti-Venom is finally in the game, and the full review is as follows. No, I didn't get a 7 red star. Sorry for the clickbait on that. I did pull a 7 red star character. It just wasn't Anti-Venom. He is amazing. He actually brings the squad together, but more importantly, he does have the ability to spread positive effects and heal others. And more importantly, the res doesn't require having multiple symbiotes on there. So if you have just Carnage and Anti-venom, and you're waiting for Symbiote Spider-Man because you're opening milestone orbs, he's pretty darn good. And so getting a 4-star from an event like this is something that we want to see a lot of the community obtain, because again, you know, having another team that reliably beats the Asgards, he does take a lot of those question marks off. They can punch up into Black Order as you build them. He isn't as he is more of a kit character. He isn't as necessary to get high stars and high red stars on, although it'll limit what you can actually beat, because if people have fully progressed Thanos's, it's going to completely annihilate them. And so Anti-venom, probably the feature of the patch, I have to say, again, surpasses Scream in all my expectations, and surprised me just how well built this team was in consideration of synergy elements, which kind of makes me excited to see what they're going to do with other upcoming teams coming down the road over here. So if you can, and you have the cores, or you want to throw your wallet at the problem, Anti-venom is a character that I do not regret, because he's usable every day in raids. So for me, he far surpasses any character that's built just for war. The fact that you can use him in arena, where he doesn't get the full benefit of the symbiote squad, makes it so that the investment has a long-term benefit. And more importantly, if you're looking at it from the perspective of what they do in war, well, if you can target a Black Order squad and know that you can reliably beat them by comparing the size of the Cole Obsidian to your Symbiote Spider-Man and your Scream, well, then you have a top-tier solution for war that probably makes this team the best team in the game. Now, we're going to have to go back and revisit the tier list. We're going to be measuring this. I'm sure we'll have some arguments from the people that help compile the list for me. But the fact that they are absolutely viable in all of these game modes, and Anti-venom is the literal glue that holds them together. Spend the time, take a look at this resource management chart. Thank you, Rondius, for getting this math up day one. Hopefully you guys get it. Guys, leave notes in the comments over here. I want to see what you guys think of these events over here. Realistically, this is actually better than Negasonic Teenage Warhead was by quite a little bit. So that's something that was important to remember. So this actually event is a little bit better, but at the same point in time, let me just show you guys really quickly. If you want to get a 5-star, there is really no way to blitz through it. It would have to be constant blitzing, and with the new blitz changes, the rotations would be almost impossible to do. So while these orbs are still available, these lethal dose orbs, you may want to take a look at those, maybe look at the offers. There is the potential that you can use those. So one of the things that if you are a light spender or free to play, it's going to come down to core management. And when I say core management, I'm talking about power cores. If you can manage those power cores and reduce your daily spending for special characters like this, this is a character that you have the green light. And again, remember, I know that Scream was a 400 core a day expenditure. If you guys don't know, I had 300 to do when I was opening it, and I actually just finished Scream to 7 stars recently. So I was able to get her up through the event. So thank you guys for putting together these calculators. I know that if you guys like math, you can follow along. You can also put some numbers in there to keep yourself updated and abreast of the changes as you're making the effort for it. So I'm going to say this right now. The event is a long-term event that is not as frustrating as some of the others we've had. I really wish that these events were consistent, that you got a 5-star from the effort, and it was something that you can blitz to a 5-star if you put that energy in, but I get it. Remember, I do things so you don't have to. I have to make sure I thank Rondius repeatedly, because him doing this for the community is a huge deal. Yuletide when he does these events is a huge deal. We'll hopefully bring these to you every single time there's an event change early on, so you can get your planning done and prepare for the best star possible, especially when it is groundbreaking a character as Anti-venom. Now, you guys may think he's overhyped. I promise you a character that you can use in war on a top tier team, a character you can use in arena on a top tier team, and coming soon to a video near you that you can auto the raids at U7.5 with no target selection is worth the investment. It's worth the time. So glad we guys have this. Remember, I do things you guys don't have to. Check it out later. You'll see these teams. You'll see a bunch of videos popping up, and you'll see why this is justified. But he is a superstar on the Symbiote squad and potentially outside as we find and uncover new teams. Leave comments in there. Let me know what team you're using Anti-venom on, and have a good one, guys. I'll check you in the next video.